Hey everybody, good afternoon and welcome back to my horror. You may notice some changes right now. Usually if I do any of these videos, I do them in my basement, which usually is preferred because I have all the horror memorabilia all over the walls, but lately, I don't know, maybe it's because it feels nice outside despite the fact that it's super muggy because it just rained not too long ago and it's hotter than Satan's armpits out here. I don't know why I check my watch. I don't even know what the temperature is on my watch. Yeah. But it seemed a little gloomy down in the basement, so I thought I'd bring it outside. And my other justification for that was my wife. She started making this teepee right here. I don't know, I guess you call it a trellis. I don't know, green thumb crap. But, you know, it's looking really cool. She planted this teepee thing with all the stuff in the ground and planted two different kind of vines, and the goal is for them to travel up the sticks from the teepee and then eventually go in between where we have all the twine stranded up. But when she made it, I thought to myself, that is very Midsummer and Wicker Man-esque. Like, I thought it was really cool. And actually, it's not the point of this video, but something happened recently where my wife is extremely Swedish. I don't know what percentage, but very Swedish. And she decided, we hadn't done it ourselves, but she had done it growing up. She decided that she wanted to start celebrating Midsummer as a family. I am not Swedish. I'm mostly Danish and Scottish, but you know, I knew about the horror film Midsummer, and so when she said that she wanted to start doing Midsummer, I was like, really? So like I started making plans, man. I started thinking about, you know, where am I going to buy the bear? Where am I going to get the shroom drugs? I'm a Mormon guy who doesn't know where to get drugs. All the stuff I know about drugs, I know from either Breaking Bad or Ozark, so I don't know what I'm doing. But anyways, we had a Midsummer celebration recently, and then we also had a Danish celebration for Midsummer a couple days later where we burned a witch in the fire, so I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, so we've made that. We've made a maypole. We've become very earthy people all of a sudden. I guess this means I have to start eating more Cliff Bars, but you know, it's fun. It's fun to do. But that is not the that's a very long-winded version or explanation as to why I'm wanting to do this outside. But really, it's just a pretty day. I was scrolling through, not Netflix, what is it? Amazon Prime, and I was discovering that they had a lot of really cool movies that they have uploaded recently. One of which was a movie starring Elijah Wood called Come to Daddy. Now, I've been on board with Elijah Wood really since I was a kid. I loved him when he was in Hook Finn, Forever Young with Mel Gibson. Obviously, frickin' Lord of the Rings. I mean, that's legendary. He probably doesn't have to work another day in his life. But when he made what sealed me for him, what really like brought him close to my heart, was when he made the remake of Maniac, or he starred in it. It's this slasher movie from the first person perspective, and I just thought it was the coolest crap I've ever seen. It made me feel kind of creeped out or scared of myself. I felt like I needed to start seeing a Catholic priest more often, or start. But it really made me jump on board with this guy as a horror actor. Like, you know, it's not like anything he's done before. Like, this guy, he can do horror films, and he does them well. But he did this movie called Come to Daddy recently, and it's about a young boy who is now, he's now a man, named Norval. He gets a letter from his dad that he hadn't seen since he was 5, and now he's in like his late 30s, early 40s. And he got a letter from his dad to come visit his cabin up in Oregon. Like, the dad wants to get to know him. And so that's the base of the movie. The very first thing you see is Elijah Wood, or Norval, driving out to Oregon to go see his dad. And it's a horror film, but I'm one of those optimistic people. Like, I hope it's fun. I hope he gets to see his dad and they, eat hot chocolate or so. I don't freaking know. But he goes to see his dad, and he clearly looks like he has a drinking problem right off the get-go. He says a bunch of really off-color jokes, or he insults Elijah Wood's character in various ways, and you start to think that, you know, this dad is not, he's not a good man, or there's something going on. You know, you get this weird creeped out vibe, kind of like you get in Midsummer, ironic, Midsummer or Wicker Man, you know, when everyone's behaving somewhat differently around you and you know something's going on or something's going to happen. As a viewer, you know something's going to happen, you just don't know what it is. And I don't want to get into that part actually, because it's a fairly good independent horror film. Not big budget by any means, but they were able to achieve some creepy imagery in this, some creepy music, and there were some jump scares, but they were the kind of jump scares that you earn. You know, they didn't just scare you with loud music. Like, there was build up to those scenes, and so when it finally happens, you're like, ah! Not like that. That was stupid. Like, ah! It's better. God, I'm an idiot. But no, it was a very good movie. There was one scene in particular. I'll talk about one of these jump scares. It reminded me of American Beauty. You know, when there's that scene where the guy is weirdly filming that bag kind of floating to and fro on the street. Well, Elijah Wood's on the beach, you know, and he's trying to escape a confrontation with his dad. So he leaves the house, goes on the beach, and he sees this bag kind of gliding in the distance. And I'm like, oh, that's very American Beauty-ish. And you didn't know what's going to happen. Like, and the bag's just kind of floating there. And then all of a sudden, it comes really close to Elijah Wood and like smacks him right in the face. And you're like, and I got scared, man. I'm not going to say I peed, but I don't know, maybe a little. But I'm like, why am I scared of a bag so much? A couple other things that I thought were cool in the movie is there are a couple really good kill scenes. I can't go into too many specifics of who it is, but let's just say Elijah Wood at one point gets in a fight with somebody, and somebody's trying to kill Elijah Wood's character, and Elijah, the only weapon he can find is in the kitchen. He gets one of those barbecue forks, you know, when you check to see if the turkey's gonna be raw or not. Anyways, he gets one of these barbecue forks and he just starts, I don't know how to say this without sounding gross, he starts like stabbing him in the genitals like over and over again, and all I can think is, ooh, no, that's worse than a pie server. Yeah, it's not very savory. And after he's done doing that, he gets like some of that plastic wrap and he wraps it around the guy's face to suffocate him, also to keep him fresh. You know, you never know these people. And then he proceeds to like smacking them in the head, and I don't know what it is, man. I'm not saying I'm a sociopath, I have feelings, but there's something very gratifying as a horror fan to see that kind of bloody violence just carry out. And so I was pleased with it, I guess. Maybe I shouldn't say that. But and another small thing about this movie, again, I'm not going to give the middle or the end away from you guys. I want you to watch that and see what it is. It's free on Amazon Prime anyway, so go ahead. But when he gets there, you know, it's a slow burn. Like, you know, the dad is clearly weird. Something's up with him. And it's a spiral. Like, things keep getting weirder and freakier, and the dad, like, clearly turns out something's wrong. Elijah Wood, the thing that cracks me up about it is he stays the whole time. I'm one of those people that really, if someone starts acting weird too much, or they start insulting me like just a little bit beyond the allowed amount, which I don't know what the allowed amount would be, I would leave. I'm not gonna stay and just like hopefully he'll change. You know, I'm gonna get the heck out of there, man. I'm not gonna give this guy the chance. But then again, if people made smart, logical decisions like that in horror films, we wouldn't have horror films. So there's always that. So yeah, that's really it. I can't really give you guys any more information on that, but I'd say go check out Come to Daddy. I just realized how bad the title sounds. It's a really good film, though. And if you're not impressed by any of the stuff I just said, just so you know, Elijah Wood has one of those mustaches, just like, brink, right there. and he has a haircut that looks like Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber. So really, what's not to lose? You got a lot of really visually cool things to look at. So I'm going to say bye-bye to everybody. Glad midsummer, and hey da!